All right, we're back and welcome everyone to Be Alert News. We are so excited that you could be with us on this day, and we have some exciting things that we're going to be sharing. We're going to be talking about our lives as it is today. Who is in control of our lives? And I'm telling you something, if we're going to depend upon government, that is man's government, or are we going to depend upon what we know to be true, the very values and the morals that we depend on every day? I like to say it like this: the two laws that come together: love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all your strength. And the second is like unto the first: love your neighbor as you love yourself. I got my dear friend Brett Miller with SAT 123. Yes, yeah, we got to talk about it, because it seems like stuff is turning off and stuff is turning back on, but then it's turning off. Things are going dark. And so I got my dear friend Brett Miller here, and I want to bring him on in, man. I say this has been something
Hey,
going on, Brett.
so everything's going
Somebody
on.
have
It's all
control.
going on. Man, love you, neighbor. Jeez, we need each other. What is
This,
happening right now?
yeah,
Crazy
and look,
town.
somebody's like flipping a switch, okay,
It
and
does
saying
seem that
off.
way.
Yeah, and then they see, after everyone is like kind of tired and stressed out a little bit, exhausted, they flip the switch back on. And
It rem-
I don't want anybody like that having that much control over my life, especially myself as a believer. I'm a father, husband, pastor, Navy combat veteran, served in the Gulf Wars. Man, we fought wars over this.
yep.
Somebody trying to control everybody. We got into wars because of this, man, and ran for Congress. Somebody wants to keep control of our lives, Brett. And I got you on today, man. You've been with me on several occasions. We're like two brothers from a different mother, but look, don't look at the skin color, because
That's it.
we are connected.
MAGABLACK, baby.
Come on,
MAGABLACK, baby.
somebody.
That's it.
We're connected. We're connected deep. We're
That's
connected.
it.
Don't
We
look at
are.
the suit we got
We're all
on.
connected. We're all connected. That's the thing. It's funny you say that, pulling all the levers. It reminds me, Jen Psaki was at the podium one time, that crazy lady, and she's like, "We're back here pulling all the levers." And you say flipping switches. I was like, "Yeah, it's the Wizard of Oz. Someone's back there like flipping switches, spinning knobs, pulling levers, like trying to mess up everything for everybody." But I'll tell you that everything you said is spot on. If we have each other and look past this superficial silliness, I mean, that's how we're gonna hold together. That's how this country was founded, and we've come a long way. We're not perfect, but we've come a long way as a society, as a community, as neighbors, and that's how we're gonna stay together. That's it. Staying in touch, working together.
Yeah, staying connected.
Staying connected.
The news is cycles are going spastic now. The crash, of the stock market, the S&P 500, Dow Jones, Bitcoin, Apple, Amazon. Everybody is, looking at what is going on. Does somebody have that much control that they can determine our economic uprisings or our economic downfall? That is not a good place to be if you are a person that says, look, I'm here for a purpose. I love God. I love family. I love country. But yet someone is flipping the switch on the other end. And what did you do on that day when the markets crashed? What was going on in your head?
I mean, what's going on in my head? Well, we've always known that the Fed controls rates, and that there's all kinds of issues, and all kinds of people behind the curtain. There's always been stories, and presidents have even warned, and then things have happened to them who have warned about this idea that there are men behind the curtain controlling, everything, whether it's our finances, whether it's our food, whether it's our militaries, whether it's our communities, or our information or our power. On the days that, I always say I'm not trying to sell. I'm not selling fear. I try to prepare people and let people know that, like, hey, these things are possible, they're plausible, and they're coming to a town near you. And now, we're just seeing it happen. We're seeing it unfold. It's all playing out in front of us. You can see what's going on. And I think it really, on that day, I just called around to everyone and was like, where are you at? What are you doing? How are we preparing? And what's next? What do people think is next? Because, if the stock market can crash and the banks can shut down, then the power can go off. And then how do you communicate with people? And what do you do in those scenarios? And that's our business at sat123.com. Our business is keeping people in touch, or keeping people with light and power in those times of darkness. Now, I can't do anything to control the markets or the stock market, but what I can do is kind of, parlay that into, like, hey guys, what's next? And how are you preparing for what's coming? And then here comes a hurricane sweeping up the coast. And the owner of the company that I run, even she was without power in her house in Florida. And luckily she had a sat phone and she had a backup generator, because, again, that's our business. But, it happens to all of us, and it could happen to you. I hope that it doesn't. But, there are ways to prepare. So that's how I spent the last few 48 hours, 72 hours.
I wanted to introduce one of our newest items on darkbags.com. It is our Faraday bulletproof backpack. So basically there is a Kevlar plate in this main compartment right here. It's very lightweight. It is certified as well. Our certifications are on darkbags.com in the description. So basically, if you're in public transportation, you're at a rally, you're at school, you can protect yourself in the case that you are in a line of fire by just holding this up and protecting, your face, your torso, etc. This bag also has a Faraday pouch hidden in the back over here. Let me show you. So this opens up right here, and it's a fairly decent sized pouch. It's the size of this right here. So this fits your phone, your wallet, your keys, so no one can track you, find your location, no one can steal your credit card information. This also protects against EMP and EMF, as well as unnecessary radiation coming from your devices. So this is very important. It's also nice because this is up against your back when you're wearing it, so no one can steal your items that are stored in this pocket. There is 3 main compartments in this pocket. The front 2 are easy access. You can stick your hand in this one really quickly, zipper, and then this one has pouches for your, your pens and papers and all that kind of thing. And then there's this main compartment where there's the Kevlar plate that you can zip up, but you still are able to put a laptop and everything like that in here. This bag runs $199 on darkbags.com. It's usually priced at $250, so it's a really good deal right now, and it's going to be while supplies last as well.
I was watching the world unfold.
How much have we been talking about this?
So much.
Don't
yeah.
get caught in the dark without necessary tools, and
that's right.
And every time we get on, it seems like it's starting to catch on. People are starting to say, wait a minute, why is Be Alert talking about, hey, do you have a sat phone? Do you have a Bivy stick? I didn't know anything about these things. I'm going to be honest. Several years back, currently, what is, who uses that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, who uses that? And it's like now people are starting to wake up. I know, this thing called woke. Woke really means sleep. But if you are really awakened, then you want the truth, and you want to know how to handle yourself when things happen, as opposed to someone who runs around like a chicken with their neck cut off.
Yeah.
Talking about, the sky is falling, and so the whole thing, Brett, why we have come together to just give people the facts, information, how to be prepared. SAT123.com. Tell the people kind of like how things work together, whether it be the SAT phone, the Bivy stick,
Sure.
the whole we call it the bag that the preparation bag. How does it all fit together?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, there are so many there's so many systems and ways to connect with the satellite system, and the satellites are up there. Iridium is the largest satellite network. That's who we work with. We also work with MRSAT, which is one of the other largest popular. We do work with Starlink too, and then a couple other smaller satellites. So we're out there working with all the different providers. This particular phone, the Iridium phone right here, works with the Iridium network, and it works just like kind of one of your old cell phones, right? But it does it specifically through the satellite network as opposed to through a cell tower network. Now, what does that mean to the everyday user? Well, it means that in an emergency, one of the first things to go down is Wi-Fi and cellular, right? Everybody knows that. Communication is the first thing to go. And another thing to note is that cell towers, they're really kind of fragile. If you think about it, they can only really handle about 1,000 calls at a time. So in an emergency, are you one of that lucky 1,000? And if it hits 1,000, it will shut down, and then it'll have to be a hard restart. So, the cell towers are not, they're great on a day-to-day. They're not reliable in an emergency, and that's what the satellite network is there for. So you can get a device like a satellite phone. What we like, which I love, don't get me wrong, I'm holding it right here. What I like to do for people that are just kind of entering into the satellite world, maybe they don't have a lot of people on the satellite network and they're just trying to experience it. I recommend that Bivy stick you were talking about, and that's this device right here. Now, this Bivy stick, this works as very similar to the phone. This is like the antenna to the satellite network. It connects to that same Iridium network I was just talking about. But what it does is through Bluetooth, it'll now turn your smartphone into a texting satellite device. Now, you can't make those phone calls like you can, on the phone. But what you can do is you can set up messaging through the satellite with your family and your friends. And in that emergency, as long as this little device here can see both the sky and your phone, you just flip over to Bluetooth, jump on the app, and you're connected to the satellite network. So you no longer need that cellular tower if it goes down in your neighborhood, and you can get a hold of your family and friends. This device, normally $300, I'm going to give it to you. It's free. Now you have to pay the service. It's a monthly service, similar to a cell phone, but much cheaper. It's typically half to a third of what people spend. But go ahead.
They go to the site. Will they be able to put? Is there a promotional code? Is it Be Alert?
I'll tell you, just tell them that you sent them. Tell them Be Alert sent them.
Be Alert
Pastor
News.
Leon Benjamin sent them, and we'll take care of them from there.
Okay, just mention Be Alert News. I think I know, like I fly a lot, and people always hear the emergency instructions. Some people are reading their books. You know what I'm talking about, Brad.
Yeah, for
Some
sure.
people are asleep. Some people are on the phone, not even paying attention.
Attention in the dark, Kevin.
And it's like you keep hearing something over and over again. It becomes stale. It becomes ad nauseum. It's like, okay, yeah, I already heard that. But you know what, Brett? I'm glad that you're here today.
Thank you.
I don't care how many times I hear this, I want it refreshed in my mind. And I'm talking to our Be Alert News family. You cannot hear this enough. I think when they hear this thing, this is an alert of the emergency broadcast system. If you're hearing this,
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to bring you my Giza Dream bed sheets for the best offer ever. We're all experiencing unprecedented rising prices, but I was able to secure a limited amount of Giza cotton for a great price, and I'm going to pass those savings directly on to you. Get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98 with your promo code. They're the most luxurious sheets ever, made with the world's finest cotton, grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, where the weather conditions are perfect for growing cotton. My sheets are ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. I guarantee they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 50% on my Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.98. Quantities are extremely limited at these amazing prices, so please order now.
And most people just cut the radio off. You know, they don't know that one day they might need to hear those instructions of where to go, emergency operational centers, what's really happening, who is invading. Oh man, I'm not trying to scare nobody. Look, this is all meant in the Bible. Matthew 24. There are going to be wars and rumors of wars. There's going to be all type of hatred and malice and all kinds of people doing ridiculous things against each other. It says the body of many nations will wax cold. That means all of a sudden now I get enemies on every side that all of a sudden say, I hate you. Wait a minute, what happened to love? And so you coming on today, I'm telling you, I'm hoping that maybe somebody else might pay attention that maybe wasn't listening, that if you don't know what a SAT phone is or a Bivy stick, now you said 1,000 people. That's crazy. So that means the phone has to search for another tower, right? In order to work if it's jammed up.
Yeah.
And that may not be a tower available.
Yeah, theoretically, but you know, how many people are in your town, how many towers, you know, I mean, the numbers start to add up quick and it becomes overwhelming. And I'm glad you just said what you said. It's very true. I mean, I think it didn't even Christ say that when he comes back, it's going to turn brother against brother and family, household against household, like that people are going to turn on each other. And, you know, I think there are several meanings and ways you can interpret that, but one of them is surely in any kind of chaos or chaotic situation. You know, I would just challenge anyone to take a look at how generally the crowds react, right? Like typically if something happens, I mean, maybe a few people take care of each other and look out for each other, but I would say that generally, you know, the reaction is not controlled and it's not logical. And now, you know, if you not to scare, of course, I don't want to, and that's not the point. But the point is, like, people now who are dealing with a hurricane in Florida actually happening, or people who dealt with fires in Lahaina actually happened to people in Burning Man or in the Gaza Strip. You know, you get what's going on over there, the horrificness. I mean, you know, they are without everything, right? Water, food. And the way to get a hold of water and food is through communication, you know, or finding it, you know, especially in, you know, like hurricane scenarios where a lot of the emergency broadcast systems, you know, do go through the satellite network. You know, generally people in need become desperate quickly. And you can either be one of those people in need, or you can be one of those people who prepared in advance because you saw the signs, the warning signs, the wars, the rumors of wars, we got all kinds. We have the whole lunar thing and the solar eclipse thing. There's all kinds of like connections biblically. Viruses, plagues, pestilence, famines. I mean, these things are happening and we're watching them happen. So, you know, don't be afraid, but be like Noah, right? Like hear the calling, hear the signs, and prepare. Because then there's stories like people were mocking Noah because he was trying to warn people. You know, don't mock the people, or not that people are mocking, but it's like don't just blow it off. Like heed the warnings. You know, the signs are here. Don't be scared. But you know, I heard Stella Emanuel say, "Don't be scared, be prepared." I think that's great. I mean, that's what we're trying to do here. Is we're just preparing people for hopefully something that never comes, but for certain people in certain places, and it seems like it's coming for all of us in one way or another. I don't think anyone escapes.
I think one of the reasons why we put Be Alert News together, they can go to our website at BALERTNEWS.com. They'll see the links with SAT 123 up. Also, some of the emergency things we're putting together.
Absolutely.
Through 5GW. Our Kpreneur program, helping churches, businesses establish, communities to be more prepared, whether it be through emergency operational centers or emergency action plans. We are launching this actually this month with our Kpreneur. I mean, it's not just enough. Remember, the Bible talks about how they're going to be throwing their money in the streets for a piece of bread. That's mentioned in the book of Revelations. They be like, the money is no good. That's called inflation.
Yeah, the hyperinflation, the day's work for, what is it, for or the weight of wheat? I forget the weight of barley and the day's work. I mean, that
a piece of bread. I just like saying a piece of bread.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
it
shows that biblically we see it. I mean, go to the grocery store and buy that same loaf of bread that you bought 2 years ago. Tell me it's not more expensive, and you're lying. I mean, it's happening. You know, maybe it's not $20, but we're losing grain supplies globally. We're losing industry. Fertilizer factories in Florida have been decimated. You know, transportation routes, and now with what's going on in the Middle East, there are talks of oil trade and shipping routes for oil that we purchase and use domestically here. That could
I'm glad
blocked.
you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that, because the attack now is getting worse and worse after that Hamas attack on those kids in Israel.
Yeah.
As we honor the hard work and dedication of our nation's workforce this Labor Day, let's also renew our commitment to personal health and well-being. Introducing our remarkable pain relief quantum energy patches from QE Strong. Designed with you in mind, these patches harness the power of quantum energy to naturally ease pain and boost energy without the need for pills or the worry of dependency. Embrace the spirit of Labor Day by taking a step towards a healthier, more vibrant life. Our patches offer a convenient, drug-free solution to pain relief that seamlessly integrates into your routine. And we've got a surprise for you. Use the code Exodus2Health for an exclusive discount. Start your pain-free journey today and let Labor Day mark your health revolution.
Come on now. This
Pray for the children. Pray for the children.
It's
just terrible.
Yeah, well, where evil now is seeming to be insurmountable, and that the only alternative is to fight back. Is to fight back. If someone is going to constantly keep coming after you. Now, could you imagine when the enemy really wants to cut everything off? He wants to cut your power off. He wants to cut your food off. He wants to cut, your friends and family off. I mean,
those are old Sun Tzu. Yeah, those are Sun Tzu art of war tactics of besieging a nation state without expelling your troops. You talk about circling it, cutting off its supply lines, throwing dead bodies over the wall to create famine, attack by fire, spies, attack by stratagem. There, I mean, you're getting into like tactics that we studied back in the military days, but those are being applied. If you take away someone's ability to water, feed, clothe, shelter, keep themselves warm and their family warm, you're taking their away ability to survive. Just bottom line, that's pretty obvious. Anyone can see that. What I think we really try to stress is that these communities, if someone's throwing bombs in your neighborhood, there's not much you can do about that. You got to get out of there. That's just how it is. So, and as far as what's going on in Gaza, I just pray for those people, all sides. I just pray everybody stops and clear minds prevail. But the Bible does talk about what's happening over there.
Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and they that love thee shall prosper. I know one of the things, Brett, why I love having you on the show with Be Alert News is also to be able to strategize, put together a plan. And I know we got a few minutes here. But can you kind of talk about how to integrate, whether it be the SAT phone, the Bivy stick, and maybe I can bring you back on another show and we could talk about the whole bag of supplies that are available at SAT, sat123.com. But what is the plan? Can you kind of walk somebody through the plan of how to use those emergency operational tools?
Yeah, and I would be honored to come back and talk about the bag. I love the bag, our bug out bag. But yeah, I look that, it's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. The plan is whatever plan you, your family, and your community make now. That's the plan. So, when we don't have access to first responders, who do we know? Who's in our network? Who's in our community? Connection, community, being able to rely on your neighbors and your family because everybody knows their role and everybody knows what they're good at and what they might not be good at. That's the plan. The plan is up to you. Now there are basics, right? Have first aid, have water filtration, have emergency food, have communication, have additional medicines. There are the basic needs, have ways to keep warm, ways to keep cool, things like that. Defend yourself, of course. But, the plan is to connect now and to communicate now with, number one, God, get right spiritually. Number two, your family, your immediate family, right? Those closest to you. And then the next step, number three, would be connect with your community, right? Your neighbors, your church, your friends, your local farmers, people, your local mechanics, your local emergency services, just connect with everybody. That's the plan. The plan is to work together so that no matter what happens, we have a plan. You have a plan, and you're connected to those people with the plan. And that's what I do specifically, is offer the options to connect with that family through these like free devices, like I said, the Bivy stick and things like that. So the plan is up to you. When 911 doesn't answer, you are the fireman, the EMT, and the police. You have to take care of your family, and it's up to you. They're going to look at you for that, and you can do it. I know you can. So just have to prepare now. Yeah.
I think, as we bring this show to a close, I think there's somebody out there right now that's probably thinking, I've never put a plan together. And that's what we're going to be offering here at Be Alert News. You'll be able to download information on our website, BALERTNEWS.com, templates, whether it be emergency operation plans, a template for emergency operations center, how to turn your building, maybe if it qualifies for that, to be a place where people can come get out from under the cold or maybe torrential weather, where they can take showers, where they can maybe get a good night's sleep. These are things that we at Be Alert News, we are starting to understand because of guys like Brett Miller with SAT 123. And so, look, go to the website, give the website one more time how they can reach out to you and get some of these supplies and some of these tools.
Yeah, go to sat123.com. Just come check us out, sat123.com. Just tell them Be Alert News sent you, and we'll talk you through it. Whatever you tell us what your needs are, what you're looking to do, what's important to you, and what your budget is, and we will tell you exactly what we have to fit all of those needs and make sure you're getting exactly what you want. We want to help. We want you to be connected, and we want you to learn. I'd be honored to be a part of that knowledge on those how-tos, the basics. I'm honored to know you, sir, and I love you very much. Thank you for having me. And here we go.
Here we go. Look
closer.
Here we are, y'all. Look.
Here we go.
Everyone. I want to thank everyone for being with us today. We had Brett Miller with SAT 123.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. Our next show, we're going to really open up some things about being prepared. And so thank you so much for being with us here today at Be Alert News. God bless.